Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, and as well as Instagram, TikTok, or X on social media. Well, I hope everyone is enjoying their Monday. It is, yes, a different episode today, because I did explain on my last episode. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have episodes. Today is the preview against West Ham. So yeah, we'll be shooting out a lot of episodes, as well as Thursday, and then probably Friday, Saturday. It's going to be a busy week for episodes. Because again, tomorrow is the last match for the men's squad until the 23rd. We're not back until Everton. We have Women's Champions League going on. This is the stretch of the women's games where it's 5 games in 16 days for them. So we'll have Atletico, then Lionesses, Atletico, then Chelsea. So we just had the first one on the weekend where they played Leicester. Now we're playing Atletico on Thursday. Then we're playing Lionesses on Sunday. Atletico back on the following Wednesday, Thursday. And then Chelsea on the 22nd. So, yeah, it's a busy time for the women's squad. Men are going to get a little bit of a break. We'll see what's going to be happening there. But yes, today is the preview for Manchester United men's squad versus West Ham. And yes, it is a rematch. It's the last time when we played them, it was not a good one. Drawing 1-1. We know the whole history and everything, blah, 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 what was going on. This is a rebuild. This is a match to get back. We have to make up for the points that we lost. We did drop points against them. I get it. 5 wins in a row and someone cuts their hair. I don't give it. In the end, I don't care. In the end, I care about not dropping points. Going into this little break with everyone healthy and then having players come back healthy. Remember, we're not going to have. This is like a good time for Dorgu to get healthy. Hopefully, Matthias de Ligt gets back. Having them come back is important. It is getting them healthy because again, those stretch of games where we're going to be needing them. So, yes, it's a good time, but it's also a bad time because we're not playing anymore. We're not playing any more football for another little bit because again, we lost in the FA Cup to Brighton. The team didn't show up. Again, the reason why we're out of some of our domestic trophies isn't because of the manager. It's because the players didn't want to show up. That's what it is. It is. The players just didn't want to show up. So that's where we are. That's where it is. That's why we're not in Champions League. That's why we're not there. You can talk about the manager, but again, the players didn't show up when they mattered the most. That's what it was. And so, yes, because you can talk about the revenues, you can talk about everything that's going on financially with Manchester United. We can talk about pundits and everything about certain players and again, people are just pushing Amorim and again, all this stuff. Great. Amorim's gone. He is. It's great that Michael Carrick is potentially winning 5 games in a row, potentially. There's no guarantee. Again, I'm always going for the win. I say that every game. But tomorrow's a trap game. Why are we sitting here trying to pretend that United are going to go in and win this game 50-0 or 10-0 or 5-0 or whatever? We're on the road. We're going away. We struggled at home against the squad. We know we've struggled against West Ham before. So why are we pretending like this is going to be an easy cakewalk? It's not. Realistically, in the Prem, we have not lost since Aston Villa. Let's point that stat out here for a second. If you were to go back and look at what we had done, just pull up the fixtures here because I was looking at it. I was preparing. We out of the Premier League, we have now lost since December 21st. That was the Aston Villa loss. Let's look at that here. And since, how do I put it here? Since December, we've only lost once. Since December 4th. Yeah. Hold on. Let's just go back. Yeah. Since November 30th, we have not lost. Since November 30th. Might as well just put it there. Again, I can talk, because again, like, realistically, how do I put it here? Since that, let's be realistic here. Let's just bolster it a little bit. Since that Brentford loss 3-1, because we went up and down, whatever, we have only lost twice. We lost to Aston Villa, and we lost to Everton, the one man down. So that's what it is. United have been playing very well. You can complain about the record all you want, but from October 4th until now, we've lost twice. There's games where we've dropped points. There's games where we've struggled, where we've had injuries, players missing, so on and so forth. But unfortunately, there's many Manchester United fans who don't care about that. They also think that we potentially have a chance to win the league this year. We're not winning the league this year. Sorry, this preview is coming down negative, but we're going into a game where we cannot drop points. We're going into a game where we have Chelsea that's catching up. Liverpool, it's great that we're 5 points ahead of them, but if we lose and they get points, we're back in it again. We're catching up on Villa. We're not too far off from Man City. Yes, you can talk about Arsenal and them bottling it, but there's no guarantees. But we have a challenge going on tomorrow. We do. And I don't want to fall asleep going into this game. Let's not ignore the fact that there's still stuff going on in the club. Like, realistically, the ownership is going on. The board is there. Not only that, we have owners going to buy a cricket club for basically the amount of debt that we're fucking in. Let's remind ourselves that we're in this situation here because of what's that. And I don't want to make this about that. I want to just make this about the game. But talking about everything that's going on, we have been playing okay and doing pretty well. Don't take it away from these games. Premier League wise, we have not lost since October. We've only lost twice. Since the Aston Villa game, that was if you really want to make it all more spectacle, we haven't lost since the beginning of December. We have only lost once. If you want to make it however you want to make it, but this can be a trap game. It can be. We're on the road. We're going there. We're riding on a high. We have people spinning about a haircut. We have people neglecting that the ownership and the board suck. We're neglecting. Yeah, we're neglecting everything that's going on. Carrick is potentially not being our manager at the end of the year. It's great that you can spin about a whole bunch of other managers that players want and whatever. Everything is being spun, and the transfers. We came out of we didn't get anything from the transfer window, and we were one busted ankle away from being concerned about what our depth was going to be like. But going into this game, there's ramifications. We lose, Chelsea can take over us. If they win, Liverpool is going to be closer to us as well. Same with Brentford, Everton. There are teams catching up to us. So there. Will they finish out in the top or in the top 5? Who knows? You never know. We're in a battle here. West Ham has played well. If we're going to look back at West Ham of what they've been doing since we last played them, we drew on them on December 4th. So, don't get me wrong. They've had their ups and downs. They drew against us. They drew against Brighton. They came close with Aston Villa. getting blown out by City, led in one against Fulham, drew again against Brighton, lost to Wolves, close one with Nottingham Forest. They beat Tottenham 2-1. The same Tottenham that we beat last week. They beat Sunderland 3-1. Sunderland, who started off strong at the beginning of the week, took 2 against Chelsea, a very strong Chelsea side. And then they played their own errors when they came to that game. And then West Ham beating Burnley. So the last couple of games have been playing well. They have. They find ways to score. They have been finding ways to score. This is a challenge for United. Let's not pretend that it's a cakewalk. We're looking into it. Like, let's just take a look here. Yes, we know we're seeing Wan-Bissaka again. We know Bowen. Just taking a look here. Who else are we expecting? Let me just take a look. I'm just, again, looking up what they've done. Lineups. Just going to look at some of their past lineups. Here, Pablo. Yeah. And we all know Adama, and him and Licha and all that stuff. So we'll be seeing him again. Let me just take a look here. What he did last game. Yeah. So basically coming off the bench for West Ham, but we know the history there. We know that West Ham can score. We know West Ham can play well. We know the squad that they have is good. Like, I'm not going into this thinking... Again, I'm not going into this game thinking it's a cakewalk. I'm not. And trying to predict the lineup, that's one thing too. That's the one thing I'm a little concerned with, is trying to predict the lineup for the game. Why? Because, well, the squad is... We just played a game on Saturday. We did. We just came away from a game on Saturday. It's great that we won, but it's hard to predict how it's going to go. Are we going to have a rotation? Are we going to have players ready to go? I know Mbeumo was walking with a limp. As far as I know, the only players that are missing are Mount, De Ligt, and Dorgu, from what I'm seeing here from the press conference. Will he do a small rotation? Are we going to see Casemiro start? Realistically, I feel like you kind of have to keep the squad the same, but because it's so short, are we going to see some rotation? And that's the thing, right? Are we going to see some? We know Bruno will be there. We know Cunha will potentially be there. We may get Mbeumo. I think is that I think Mbeumo is going to come off the bench this game. I do. I really think that Mbeumo is going to come off the bench this game. I think Sesko deserves to get the start. Nothing against that. I think it's just rotation and health. You don't want to cause any injury. So let's go through my lineup. Let's just take a look here. And the one thing, too, is Luke Shaw going to be able to go on this. Because this is going to be one of those games where, do you want to test Luke Shaw? Do you have Mazraoui come in for Luke Shaw? That's the one thing. So I could come up with 2 potential lineups. And the thing is Casemiro willing to go as well? Because how many minutes did Casemiro play last game? How many did he play last game? That's the one thing I need to look at here. Fixtures, Tottenham. Come on. Oh, my website's crashing. Yeah, 2-0. So let's just take a look here. Alrighty. Yeah, Casemiro played 87 minutes. Kobe played 9. Shaw played 87. You had Martinez, Maguire, I think, yeah, this is the one I'm gonna go with, and we'll see how it progresses. I'm gonna go with Lemens in the back. Obviously, Lemens starting keeper. Mazraoui, Maguire, Martinez, Delo. In the middle, I might get ridiculed for this, but I think just because of rotation, Manuel Ugarte in the middle with Kobe Mainu, Ahmad, Bruno, Cunha, and Sesko to start. That's what I'm looking at here, and it's not just anything against Casemiro or any of that. I think for rotation and for depth reasons, we have to keep a player like Shaw, who has had injuries. We have to have someone like Casemiro where we can't sacrifice another midfielder because we only have technically 3, 4 if you include Fletcher. We can't lose any attackers. We want to make sure Mbeumo gets some rest because he's been playing some minutes. So, and then Cunha, who's played well, and then Ahmad and Bruno, and then Sesko, who has played well when he's coming off the bench. But I think this is the game where you get him to start. Realistically, that's what I think. That's what the plan should be. But listen, it's going to be a challenge tomorrow, and I think Michael Carrick is in for a challenge tomorrow. I'm not afraid to say it. It's going to be, and it's great that we've won 4 in a row. I'm not taking that away. But we are playing. It is a trap game tomorrow, and it's on the road, and we're playing short. And it's been a while since this team has played games that, like, again, we had Brighton and all that stuff, but the short of a window, Saturday, and we're playing on a Tuesday. You got Sunday, Monday off, maybe. You're going into a Tuesday match where there can be concerns. So we may see, like, even the center backs maybe change. Maguire may not start. Martinez might start. You might see Yoro and Aiden Heaven in the middle there. And then you might have some of the players that started on Saturday coming in. There's that possibility. We know Bruno is a machine. We know Delo is a machine as well. They will play. Ahmad, yes. Sesko again. So I think we have to play it by ear on how everything's going to go. And again, this is going to be a lot of pressure on rotation and fatigue. Let's remember that too. West Ham, when did they last play? They should have played Saturday, I believe. Let's just pull up. Yeah, they played Saturday. They played against Burnley. They came away with the win themselves. So they're in the same boat. I'm not making up excuses, but they're at home. We're on the road. There is a big difference between the two. So we'll see how it, like, again, I'm still going for the win. I'm not taking anything away from that. But the concern is just making sure that we're rotating and that we have players being healthy. I want to come out of this game with players being healthy. And is that a lot to ask for, to have players come out of this healthy? No, because we need it. We have games important after this. We're rematching Everton. We're facing Everton again on the 23rd. We have Crystal Palace on the 1st, Newcastle. But we have games at, like, Aston Villa, which is a very important game. Chelsea as well. We have games that we need to have players back and ready to go. Like, yes, Everton, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, those are important games. Like I mentioned, we are not back until the 23rd, but we're facing Crystal Palace again at home. We're facing Everton. We're facing Newcastle, teams that we may have won or lost to. Like, again, we need to get points back after what happened with Everton. It's great that we beat Crystal Palace and Newcastle. But realistically, when I talked about that post game against Newcastle, if Newcastle could hit the net, we're probably losing that match on Boxing Day. So a lot of stuff. We need to come out of this game tomorrow healthy, and I think rotation is going to be big tomorrow, but it's just a matter of how Carrick is going to attack it and prepare for it. So we may see different center backs, but I think for those targets there. But yeah, again, my lineup, just to pull it up again, the men's almost going similar to this similar back four, just Mazraoui starting, Dalot moves over to Shaw's spot, Ugarte starts going along with Casemiro, Cunha, Bruno, and Ahmad, same attacking three from last week, and then Sesko starting. That's what I'm looking at here. So, but yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today's game, or not today's game, today's match. I will be back tomorrow with it. With the post game, talking about that player ratings. Sorry. I forgot to release my player ratings from what I did on Saturday. I'll post those tonight. So do keep an eye out for that when I do my announcement for the game. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow after the game, doing the post game. Yes, I will. I'm still planning to aim for a live game soon. As well, aiming for that 22nd for that women's match in the FA Cup against Chelsea. So I'll be targeting that, and then I'll be aiming for a men's game as well. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, and then Instagram, TikTok, or X to follow on social media. Have yourself a wonderful night. Talk to you guys tomorrow. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.